Welcome to Hit or Miss. Today we're talking about Magic and Muscles. Now this is an anime that was not on my radar, nor do I even really keep up with the anime seasons anymore. I normally just watch anime when I get around to it because there's just so many other things going on. But I was recommended this anime by a friend and he said, check it out, you'll like it. Now typically if someone tells me to just check out an anime, I might watch a trailer and move on, but they were really persistent. They said, no, you need to watch a couple episodes, and so I did. And at first I was like, you know what, I don't know. It's okay, it's all right, but I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoyed this. This is actually my anime of the year by a long shot. Out of all the anime I watched up to this point throughout all the seasons that have happened this year, I cannot express that enough. Think of Magic and Muscles like One Punch Man meets Black Clover. That is the best way that I can describe this anime. There's just so much about it that I enjoyed that I can't even really rate this. Like, I'm a spoiler, this is a hit, all right? I know that I'm already ruining the surprise for you, but it is so good. From a narrative point, it's pretty simple, but it executes itself pretty well. You have the protagonist, Mash Burn Dead, and essentially what happens is there is this world that is set up where you have people that have magical abilities and they have like a little mark on their face, and then the people who do not have that mark on their face do not possess magic. Throughout his life growing up, he didn't have any magical abilities, and one day he went into the city and he was found out where him and his father were living outside of the city, where they were trying to stay away from everyone that does have magic, because if you don't have magic, then pretty much you're sentenced to death. That was pretty much the crux of it. So what happened was one day Mash went into the city and then someone found out that he didn't have magic, and a cop found out, and they traced him back to his home outside of the city. And from there, they were like, hey, let's make a deal. You make a deal with us, then your secret is safe. So the premise of the story is Mash goes through this wizard academy to try and become the divine visionary. And if he does that, then his secret is safe. He will never be exposed. It will never be told to anybody. And he'll be able to live his life with his father out in the woods for the rest of his life. And my God, what a journey this entire anime is. Now, as I try and describe the story, I'll try and keep it as spoiler free as possible. But pretty much the gist of it is you have a guy that has no magical abilities, nothing at all. The only thing that is his power is strength, is muscle, and magic. If you watch Black Clover, that is the same deal with Asta. He does not have any magical abilities at all, while everybody else around him does. But the thing that makes this anime so good is because Mash Burn Dead has no magic, but he's going to school and posing as if he has magic so that he becoming the divine visionary, everyone's under the assumption that he does have magical abilities. So anytime that he is posed with a task that requires magical abilities, he has to do something with his own strength and his muscles to actually get the task accomplished. So here's a little, it's a slight spoiler, but there is one time where Mash had to get on a broomstick and had to fly. And so to do that, he doesn't have any magical abilities. So instead, he uses his own strength and how fast he can move to make himself float in the air with his legs. He just moves them so fucking fast that he floats in the air and he's able to move around. But everyone else is under the assumption that he just figured out how to use his magic properly. Now he can fly. Because you gotta remember, the entire premise of this is basically he's going to this wizard academy and he has no magical abilities at all, but nobody else knows it. So he's pretty much undercover. And so that secret is all his. So every time someone's about getting close to figure out if he doesn't have magic or not, he's just like, oh, what are you talking about? Oh, no, I ain't got no, I got magic. I got magic. And then he just does some random silly shit. But it's just so funny as well too, because it has the comedic timing. Everything, like, I've never felt at any time in this anime where I was like, oh, all right, they were trying to go for something that didn't land. No, every fucking joke, every single pause, every single moment where the anime goes from like being somewhat serious to being lighthearted, it just lands perfectly. I can't rave enough about this, and I'm trying to make sure I don't go into any spoilers. And the thing is, I don't really have any complaints about this anime. Normally, any anime I watch, there's always like a couple things that I might be able to nitpick, or, you know, just be like, I wish this was done better. But Magic and Muscles is good. I feel like all the characters are written well. I don't think that any of them were ever underdeveloped. I think overall for the story, I think it's going in a great direction. There's a lot of twists and turns that I don't particularly expect. So I'm not able to just guess what's about to happen. Sure, when you look at the overarching story, it might seem very basic or not that great, but I think it's pretty good when you understand what you're watching this anime for. It's part serious, part lighthearted comedy. That's the best way to view it. It has its moments where you're gonna be like, God damn, this shit's really getting, you know, into it. But on the other hand, it's very funny as well too. There's so many comedic moments where you just, you know, you start laughing out loud and you're just like, oh, you know, you just want to keep on watching. Because like I said, I started watching this anime on a whim. I watched 1 or 2 episodes and I binged through it within like the next day or so. That's how much I was enjoying it. Also, let me add this in. The animation is good. I don't think that this is a hot take or anywhere. I don't really read anime forums anymore. A lot of people are just disappointed if something's not like a Demon Slayer level these days. But I think the animation was great. I enjoyed it. I was like, all the fight scenes, because there's a lot of fight scenes in this anime. And in my opinion, they delivered pretty fucking well. It's not like Seven Deadly Sins in their final seasons where it's pretty much just like still images pretty much, where nothing was actually happening on screen. And you look at like one image for the whole time and that's the whole cutscene. It's just like one person standing there, you hear a whole bunch of battle noises and you're like, what's this? Or it's like, and it's just like the same animation over and over, and they don't actually really animate anything. No, it's nothing like that. This is beautiful to watch. Again, it's not going to blow your mind, probably like Jujutsu Kaisen or Attack on Titan or Demon Slayer, but the animation is still good. Just giving my rating now, Magic and Muscles is definitely a hit. I cannot wait for season 2. I just cannot rave about this anime enough. If you haven't watched it yet and you want to watch something that has like the comedy of One Punch Man and Black Clover, and you just wanted to see someone that is just strong as fuck, just go through a whole school full of people who have magic as their powers, and this guy just obliterate all of them with just his strength alone, because he calls his magic muscles. You're gonna enjoy this, man. I don't know what you're doing. You need to go watch it now.